Alright, this is part of my 5G electric smog series. I've been out and about with my trusty tri-field meter, checking my local area with some surprising, some scarily surprising results. Anyway, first of all, because people always say, oh, there's no test, we don't know whether it's good or bad, I'd like to just show you a few little things. Before I go into where I've been today and what I've been doing, take a look at this. I'm going to transition. I love it when I say I'm going to transition. Don't know what I'm going to transition into, but hey, there we go then. If you take a look at this, first of all, just so you know, Catalonia, where I live, has decided, for the good of the people of Catalonia, that it is an open laboratory for 5G. But when I say an open laboratory, I don't mean to test whether it's healthy or not, but to allow any company that wants to come in and test their products on us, the rats. But they don't need to do that, because the tests have already been carried out. This company here, the American Toxicology Lab, has done it. The results of this study, I wrote it down somewhere, came out in the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019. And the US Department of Health and Social and Human Services released the final results of this 2-year study on cell phone radiation and cancer in rats. This was using 2 and 3G. Now 4G and 5G is much stronger. Scientists said they see a connection between radio frequency radiation, I'll just call it RF from now on, and tumours in rats that were tested. Now that is just a fact of what they said. This is the test. It's no some backstreet test. This is the biggest test done. I think they used 2,000 rats, and it's done by the National Toxicology Department in America. I will come down, I think on about page 7 they've got a quick conclusion. I'll link this in the where's the results? Conclusion. There's the conclusion. In males, both GSM and CDM modulated radio frequency, we conclude that exposures increase the number of animals with tumours to the heart. Now, the wording is very, very clear. They don't say might or possibly, they say increase the number of tumours in the heart. So heart disease increases with this radiation. The tumours of the brain were also considered to be related to exposure. So they considered tumours in the brain related to exposure. Increased numbers of male rats with tumours of the adrenaline glands were also related to exposure. So 3 kinds of cancer increased in the rats. We are uncertain whether occurrences in the prostate gland, pituitary gland, and pancreatic islet tumours in male rats exposed to GSM. Okay, gets too complicated to read then, but that's basically the conclusion. No, not basically the conclusion. That is the conclusion. Exposure to radio frequency increases tumours. It increases cancers. Now, Catalonia, obviously, and Europe. This is all of Europe are doing this. And you know, it's like, which of us didn't know that holding a device to your head that receives and gets rid of radio frequency all day could possibly cause cancer? Now, which of us would ever have guessed that? But they don't speak about a link. They actually say a cause. It causes cancer. It's a causal effect. But yet, we throw it on our children. When smoking first came out as a problem, we never threw it on our children like that. Let me just transition back. We give ourselves a choice whether we want it or not, but we're never given this choice. We walk in it every day. Now, why I'm saying that is, why I'm saying we throw it on our children, because I went out into my local town and looked at the situation. It was far, far worse than I could possibly believed. I will be trying to get results from the local hospitals and that, but I doubt they'll give me anything. But anybody who thinks that humans not receiving the same exposure as these rats means it's not going to happen, you must take into account that it's 24 hours a day human exposure. These rats were only 8-9 hours a day. From GPS, Bluetooth, sat-nav, telephones, Wi-Fi, stations all over the place. Now, take a look at these videos of me walking around my town. Here we go. Alright, I'm out in the streets at the moment with my tri-field meter. And as I said earlier in the video, any level above 1 megawatts per meter squared is extremely high and dangerous. And I'm standing, you might hear the meter buzzing at the moment because I've got it turned on. This here is a school in my town. This here is my meter. And I don't know if you can see, the peak reading is at 6. It's jumping to 6. This is the one in the corner there. Now, 6 megawatts per meter squared in a school. I'll turn around now and you can see why. If you look out behind me there, you can see why. That is a radio telecommunications mast right next to the school. But it gets worse. I'm going to continue filming in a second when I get a bit further along this street. Okay, see you in a minute. You'll be good. Hello, just moved a bit around in my town. Same antenna, different school. We've got one school there and one school there. And notice what's popping out from behind that school. And this is a junior school. And just down behind those trees over there is an infant school. This is an infant school here. All around that antenna. Now, sadly to say, this is the school that my children go to. I'm in the yard where they play football at the moment. And I put my meter there, as you can see. At the moment, it's peaking at 3.4. If you look at the small peak fader, it's down to 1.6, 2.7. The safe level is 1. And on the bottom large one, 0.2 they suggest. But this is peaking at, I seen it a minute ago at 7. But you know, we're talking about a level of 1.6 to 2 on the peak. As a permanent thing in your class every single day. From the age of 3 up to the age of 12. Those lab rats were only irradiated for a year or two with 3G and 4G. Now we're going bigger. I was going to walk around and show you the other towers in the town, but I don't think there's any need. I think you can see the lack of any kind of care the councils and the governments show for our children. There we have it. That is your answer. That picture there says it all. Okay, back into the house now. Bye. Now, if that doesn't shock you into action, it's happening in your towns. These companies, Orange, Movistar, don't give a shit. And I've heard plenty of people talking about the connection between 5G and Kung Flu. I won't say the name of it because the video will get taken down. And I would say to that, 5G doesn't cause the Kung Flu, but it lowers your defences. Any form of radiation lowers your defences, which means you are more capable of getting it. That's why old people get Kung Flu more than young people. So yeah, what I'm saying is, look out there. You've seen, I just showed you one more study, the biggest study. And every video I do on 5G, 4G, 3G, I'll try and put a different study in. It's my first 2 videos with 2 different studies. The links are below. And like, share and subscribe. And don't forget, if you listen to this on my main channel, I have a 5G. It's called Jeremy Poole Making Waves. That's also my secondary channel should this one go down. So I'd like you to all go over there and like, share and subscribe. But subscribe to that channel. Okay? Now, I will be going around testing lots of things with this in the next few weeks. Odd things. Just testing a microwave, perhaps next to a Wi-Fi. See which is the worst for you. Testing my mobile phone. And I'll be putting these on in little short videos. So please share and subscribe. And know that if you live in Barcelona, if you live in London, any of the big cities that are getting 5G or have already got 5G, you are in danger. The governments will not tell you this because they're raking it in. They're using it for control. But the fact is, you are in danger. You be good. Have a great day. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.